And here we are once again in a new location. This altar is set up, friends, but the computer is in a very precarious position here. Not unlike our times in life. Hi. Just wanted to give you a little bit more than I was able to give you the last time. So let's work from here. I need to grab those cards for us as we take a look at our full moon in Sidereal Pisces in the final nakshatra of the lunar zodiac, which is Revati, which is what it sounds like, celebration. I have the deer for us, and the hummingbird was my draw from last night. Gentle joy. Final nakshatra, looking toward the end of things. And I am just going to take a quick look, quick review of our, you can't see it very well, but our chart here, and give you my impressions. At the top of the chart, we have the tropical moon in Aries, and it is flanked by Uranus at 0 degrees, that anaretic degree, right? And Chiron, also near the anaretic degree, 25 degrees. Now, we still have that beautiful trine going on between Pluto, Uranus, and Saturn. And this is the one that is reminiscent of the 60s, that brings us back into this period of breakthrough. Limitations being challenged, cycles being completed, and of course, coming off of our last and most recent eclipse season, where we're in tropical Pisces and Virgo, which is that victim, perpetrator, savior trine, and then also Leo and Aquarius in Sidereal, which is our leaders versus the masses, social constructs, and epochs and ellipses of those. We also have a really interesting bottom of the chart, all of that at the top of the chart, all of that kind of at the apex of what we're looking at right now. And good Lord, I lost it completely. And at the bottom of the chart, we have Venus with Ketu. Venus with the past. And Venus here in the tropical chart, let me make sure I got this right, is in Virgo. So she's in her fall. She's in a tough spot. And she's also with the tail of the dragon, right? With the reckoning. And it's like nothing feels good right now because Ketu wants perfection, and beauty, true beauty and perfection don't live together. They're not bedfellows. True beauty is what comes from authenticity, not from how our desires shape things. A thing in itself is beautiful. A thing that has been manipulated, a thing that has been tortured, a thing that has been seduced is no longer a beautiful thing. It is no longer owning its authenticity. Now, directly across from that, we have Saturn near, not exactly on top of, but very near to Rahu. And that is in a sextile, that Rahu is in a sextile to Jupiter. Very interesting Pisces placements in both charts this go around. we're focused on the end. And I feel like the reason for that is because we're discovering that life on planet Earth is about being in the gunas, which is just one way of describing, like astrology is just one way of describing the reality that we find ourselves in. The gunas of generating, organizing, and destruction or deliverance, which is the way that I have basically constructed my triune quatroon idea of God as a generating, organizing, and destructive or delivering force in the world, they're drawing to our attention during this Kali Yuga, which we are not leaving anytime soon, the idea of suicide, ecocide, and genocide. And this is a part of God. This is a part of love. The ultimatum of unity, disunity, and the ultimatum of repair. If we don't repair this, we're going to dissolve it in relationship, right? That's part of God. That's part of love. And we can't have a world without it. We can't have life without it. So we have to find ways to understand it and bring it into consciousness, just like the Jungian shadow, just like loving all parts of yourself. This is about a completion of a naivety. This is about maturing. Now, what I'd like to do is go to the sidereal chart here. I'm sorry, I'm not one of those very organized and beautifully perfect people that can do all of this at once for you. And I am definitely in a situation of having to work and being with lots of time pressure and honestly lots of stress. So here's the sidereal chart, and taking a look at that, at the top of the chart, we have both Pisces and Aquarius. So what the soul wants, because that's what the sidereal chart talks to me, and it's just to me, right, is limitations around the future, right? Because it's Saturn and Rahu at the very top of the chart. And how we're going to change that. How we're going to change the limitations of our current future. Because Uranus is there. Now, most sidereal people don't use Uranus. I do. Off to the right of that, or previous to that, because the chart moves backwards, we find the moon and we find Chiron. We find the wound, right? And how we're feeling. This chart in the sidereal screams to me, you're not going to like this. I'm going to say it though. We have to sit with our feelings. We have to sit with the discontent. This is reminding me of the Four of Cups in traditional tarot. A cup is being offered to us, but we don't want it. And it's that whole flavor of the D squared in God, right? It is, we're at that moment where we're choosing between destruction or deliverance. And we know that deliverance is going to be a lot of hard work. So we're thinking about destruction. And we're thinking about letting the wound take over. On the other side of the wound is Pluto here in Capricorn, which is coming up out of the wounded area, coming up out of the underworld, finding light and life in love with Persephone, right? He loved her. I'm sorry, I keep calling Neptune Uranus. So taking you back to what's coupled and what's near Saturn right now, it's unclear. It's not ready to change. It's not ready for revolution. It's unclear how this is going to go. Are we going to go toward deliverance, or are we going to go toward destruction? This is the important point about either one of those two outer planets being at the apex right now. It is about free will choice. And a lot of people will tell you that it's not, but the choices that you make in every moment do affect the whole. That is, as far as I'm concerned, the symbolism of Aquarius. And when it's perceived in this way with a triune of planets right across Aquarius and Pisces, it's questions about the end and how you perceive the end, how your feelings with the moon in Pisces perceive the end. Revati, where the moon is kind of this eternal party of Krishna, right? He made copies of himself, so that he could party forever with his love. But even that loses its luster and falls into the cycle, right? Where, again, at the bottom of the chart in Leo, we have Ketu with Venus. Our happiness, our pleasure is submerged. It's in the underworld with the sun, with our identity, next to, Mars, very close to Lilith in Libra. And our part of fortune, our good luck, is in this depth in Scorpio. Jupiter at 28 degrees of Gemini, moving out of this autocratic informational fascism, right? This Neptunian unknowing, and into the sign of how we feel. So the most important thing that you can do, I feel, astrologically at this full moon is pay very close attention to how you're feeling and sit with those feelings. This is not a place to act from, friends. We don't have all the information, and new limitations around what information we can have and do have are being set for the future here. This is dicey astrology, and we've seen how it's showing up in American cities right now. I agree wholeheartedly with the People's Oracle when she says the only positive use of protest that you can have right now is protecting people from ICE in your community. And if you are willing to put your body into that, God love you. That is the perfect use of an Aries moon. But they are going to use these protests to continue the program of genocide, ecocide, and suicide. Do not get caught out there. That's my opinion, and you can disagree with me all you want. It is your right to go to a protest, but unless you're protecting someone from ICE, not only will it be wasted, but the propaganda machine of Neptune at the top of the chart with Saturn is going to turn it into something really nasty. Sorry, friends, that's just the deaf evidence. It's not what I want to have happen, but it's what I feel. And I am paying attention to what I feel, because there's deep confusion right now. Deep confusion. Om Doom Durgaye Namaha. Om Shrim Mahalakshmiye Namaha. Om Aim Saraswatiye Namaha. But full moons are about clarity, the clarity that comes through contrast and the clarity that comes through opposition. May this reading serve to help us find that kind of clarity. We are illusion. Perfect. Okay, it's 27, it's a 9, it's a 9-year. So we have to get to 2026 is first and foremost what's coming off of this one for me. We are not bodies. We are an experiment in understanding the gunas from within the gunas, within the generative, organizing, delivering, or destructing principles of ourselves. This is the way in which we try to understand ourselves. It's a game. It's pretend. It's make-believe. Why do you think we are so obsessed with actors, acting, and the theater because it's the microcosm of the macrocosm. We are illusion. We are crossed by cleansing. Oof. Yeah. This is a karmic cleansing. And I really want to get into how I differ from my teachers and from everybody's interpretation, because all these things, all these ideas are just interpretations and perspectives about karma. Karma isn't personal. It's not something you did and that you have to atone for. It's a thing that comes for all of us. It is the weight of causation. And in the gunas, we are learning that for every cause, there is an effect. We are learning how to modulate the causes. Anybody who tells you that they know how to make something happen, that's an illusion. That's not true. That's not where we are dimensionally right now. And the things that are happening because it's the Kali Yuga, and it is reversals of fortune in larger cycles of astrological time. It's one way of seeing things, right? It's interpretation of one way of seeing things. 8 and 3 become 11, 11 becomes 2. It's a choice. It's about your choice. We are crossed by our inability to decide right now. And it makes sense. It's not a fault. It's not a problem. And it's not an issue. The time for not being able to decide is right now. This is founded in Mother Earth. It has always been founded in Mother Earth. This is the one. It is a one card. The throne of biological life, the crown of biological life on the throne of the earth is what this has always been about. Always these two competing light and darkness, contrasting polarities move around this center. Will life continue, or will it end in genocide, ecocide, and suicide? This is the choice. This is the choice. And in the same sense, it is an illusion. Because life isn't a process. It's an opportunity that faces eternity. That's Kierkegaard. That's not me. But we mistake it for this other thing all the time. We mistake it for a process, something we're learning, something we're going through. It's not about that. It's about the choice that you make in every moment, whether to remain open to eternity or to shut down into genocide, ecocide, and suicide. This is the choice, and this is the domain to be protected. It's in your heart. Earth is heart. It's an anagram for it. All right. I'm preachy. I'm sorry, guys. It's early morning. I'm like this. We are crowned by loyalty. It's a 5. It's about play. It's that quote from Howard's End. It's not a battle. It's a romance. Can you remain open to it? Can you remain loving like your dog does to you? What do you think they're here to remind you of? Love. It's not all good. Love's not all sunshine and butterflies. It's being there through the tough stuff. And that's what we're doing right now. Good job, everyone. Good job. We are moving away from gathering. We have all the information that we need. The intuitive information that we've always had is the one that we have, and it'll place you firmly in destruction or deliverance, and you know which one is for you. But this is an 8, and 8 is a number of transmutation, a number of transformation. People are changing their minds and hearts in this moment. It's a good thing. Let your life, let your mind be changed by your loyalty for the earth, by your love. And we are moving toward, stealth. Now, this is directly tied to fascism. It's also a 6, so it's Virgo. It's the 6th house. It's where Venus and Ketu are right now. It's the reckoning. And sad to say, it has a lot to do with what I just said about protest. That the only positive use of it right now is to put yourself in the way of harm for someone who is about to be detained or disappeared. That's what's happening here, friends. It's come. It's here. Be careful. Do what you can, but protect your neck. You know, I've been talking about this since 2018 and nobody wanted to listen. And when 2020 came, I was like, okay, everybody, you get it? Nobody wanted to hear it. This is something we're having to pass through. And we begin with teacher. Also a 6. Canids are figuring large into this. This is a number of Virgo. This is learning how to take care of your health, your hygiene, your habits. And the teacher, wolf, always touches the earth, right? Dogs get information through their foot pads. I guarantee you this is the truth. They feel vibration, they smell vibration long before we're able to detect it. Know who your teachers are. Find ways to support them. And listen to your dreams. Dana Lynn Knuckles is having a divination for liberation about dreams coming up, I think, on Sunday the 19th of October. I highly encourage you to join me there. I will be there in the replay if I can't because of work right now. We'll have a talk about karma, and we'll have a talk about why I'm at work right now, because it really feels like I shouldn't be. All right, we begin with teacher. And we are surrounded by the spiral dance. Absolutely. This is a very Neptunian card, right? Unless you know the dance very well, you don't know where you are in the cycles. These cycles and how many of them are culminating right now. It's insane. But it's a 7 and it's a healing number. And grouse does its dance for biological life on planet Earth. That's what the dance is for, you know, and whether you're in the beginning part of it or the end part of it, it doesn't matter. All that matters is your choice to be a part of it. All that matters is your choice to be open to eternity and the next movement, the next turn of the spiral. Beautiful cards so far, you guys. Really hard time, but clear guidance as to what this is. Keep your focus, right? Keep your focus on the earth. I'm sorry, none of this is coming through as far as lighting very well, but I can't change it now. We hope and fear, ego. Also a healing number. This is a stage of individuation. Now, y'all can be real mad at these players, but they're just playing their part in the illusion, right? It's parts of us. They are parts of us. There is no them out there. We have seen the enemy and they are us. Does this look a little like Pogo to you? Some of you will be far too young to know what I'm talking about, but some of you will understand that this is a mirror. We're looking into a mirror. There's nothing here to hate. There's something here to move beyond. There's something here to adapt to. And it's the part of us that fears. We cannot make decisions out of fear forever and think that we're going to escape genocide, ecocide, and suicide. Suicide is the ultimate form of making a decision from fear. I'm not condemning it, because for some people that's the right thing to do. You know, and We do it for our dogs. We do it for our animals. We do compassionate suicide at times. But this isn't that time. We have to find a sustainable way through this. And though it looks impossible, that's the ego. The ego's fear will always tell us it's impossible. You'll never make it. You can't do it. But you can. And it's a 7. It's a healing number. Finally, we finish diversion. Nice. So, we have been learning to discern. We have been learning to see clearly. And remember, Neptune is at the top of the chart. It's with Saturn. It's with Rahu. Lots of smoke and mirrors, friends. Lots of deception right now. It's a 5. So this is a changing number. This is a number of polarity. It's combat. It's also the 5 of Cups, the way I see it, that something is lost, right? But 2 cups remain. And in those cups are the truth. That card says to me, so we've got the 4 of Cups and the 5 of Cups looming large in this Revati, Aries, Pisces full moon. We're going to lose something, right? But what is gained and what remains will be the truth without desire, without fear. The divine reality is not always pleasant, friends. Just look at the book of Job. Every religion has some conundrum like that. And we are in the time where we no longer have answers and solutions and these kind of things. What we have are conundrums. And you're being diverted. You're being deceived, right? You're being told that something is dead that is really eternal. Our struggle faces out on eternity. Death is an illusion. Can't be more clear than that. We prayed for clarity and we got it. All of this is about the Akashic record. Also a 5. Also a number of polarity. It's not 2 halves of a whole. It's the whole, right? All the animals, everything that's on this biome, every beautiful piece of this planet is part of the one. The one. I don't want to put other words to it. And it's the words we've put to it and the deception around it that we'll begin to see through, even more clearly than we have recently. Thank you so much for your time and your attention. I hope this gave you clarity. I hope it gave you something you can take away while you sit with your feelings in the light of this new moon, or full moon. Sorry, it is also a wonderful time to recharge crystals, bathe in moonlight, do those kind of things. It's a very auspicious moon in Hindu faith. So let's be victorious. Let's hope that we are able to find our way through this bottleneck of illusion. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. That is my prayer.